But the ones that are going to hit it, they are likely to test close to this range. So if, for example, this market moved as high as 2.5 pips, I would have put my stop loss at around 5 pips or 3.5 or 4, sorry, 5 pips or 4 pips. Do you understand? And the reason why what I would have done is that if this market moved as high as 2.5 pips here, this market spiked to this point, it would have spiked higher. The market moved as high as 2.5 pips here. If the thing moved against as high as 2.5 pips here, and I got used to provide that my stop loss, there's a high probability that I would get spiked. Now look at this thing. Imagine I'd use 1 pip stop loss. It's basically not possible. But imagine I said, well, I'll use 1 pip stop loss. What would have happened to me? I would have been spiked out. Do you understand? Because the maximum the market moved was like like 1 pip. So what did I do? I gave allowance. I could have used an allowance of 2.5, which would have still been okay. But I just decided to just push it as high as 3. Then for the TP, the average the market moved it towards direction was 10. All of them moved even as high as 16. All of them moved as high as 16. So even if I had used a 16 pips TP, all right, this market would have still hit that TP because this market came to come and test the maximum the market moved in the direction. So if I had used a 2.5 pip stop loss and 16 pips TP, that would have given me a 1 to 6 pips to reward ratio. But I decided to tone it down based on the average that I used to get. So what I said is that because a while ago, all right, when we were trading this strategy, we're having lots of TPs, though, okay? But usually, this is what actually happens. So we have our stop loss, all right? Let's say our stop loss is 3 pips. TP1, let's say 1 is to 2, and TP2, let's say 1 is to 1 is to 2 and 1 is to 4. That's what we're using before. So when the thing hits TP1, we move our stop loss to break even. Then we try to hold for TP2, right? So what usually happens is that the market hits TP1 though, right? It will get close to TP2, but it will not hit TP2. So the market hits TP1 and hits 1 is to 3 before reversing and going to go and hit break even. So because when it hits TP1, we are moving our stop loss to break even. And when it hits CP2, we close at 1 is to 4. This market will hit CP1, get to this point, then go and hit break even. So as a result of that, in a week, we can have up to like 4 break evens. Now, these 4 break evens now hit as high as 1 is to 3 RR. But because they did not hit 1 is to 4 RR, we did not close the trades. Do you understand? So as a result of that now, it was now sometimes even up to like 6 break even itself. So that's why I say, okay, let's push this to 1 is to 3 RR. Because if we push it to 1 is to 3 RR now, that means this 6 break evens we had in a particular week would have given us 6 times 3. Let's say if you risk 1% per trade, we're not accounting for spread here. If you risk 1% per trade, that means each of those trades, 1 is to 3, would have given 3%. So this would have given 18%. Instead of them to give, instead of 0% with the break even. So moving our stop loss from 1 is to 4 RR to 1 is to 3 RR ensured that all these trades that are coming to come and hit 1 is to 3 RR, then going back to break even, 1 is to 3 RR, going back to breaking, we ensure that we actually close them at that 1:3 RR. Okay. So if we did this thing last month, we would have caught lots of profits on MT5. No matter how their spread wanted to be, or their commissions would have cost lots of profits. Let me see you do. If you're confused on this session, right, remember what I said. This is the advanced session, okay? Live analysis and all of those things, right? Okay, so if you're a newbie, definitely you're going to be confused in the OB, but don't let it get to you. Go through your courses. As you're going through the courses, you're going to actually understand very basically what we are doing. So let me go over the setups that are formed so far this week. But before I do, let me first check if there's any new setup. About that stuff with the HFM, I think we should just move to zero spread for the limit orders. If we are using limit orders, we should use zero spread for the limit orders. 2.5 pips can go for this one. 3 pips can go for this one. Well, let's TP. TP is not up to 10 pips. TP has a minimum of 10 pips. You see what see what I talked about earlier. Actually, we are practicalizing it. Before we had that loss on I think Wednesday, which was caused by that nonsense guy that came to me and said they should stop NFP news. All right. Before we had that loss, I said something. I said when there is fundamental news, technical analysis goes out the window. When there's fundamental news, technical analysis has no business there in the room. And usually, I'm always checking for fundamental news. I'm constantly not always on my chart too, but when the trade is about to get to my entry, I usually check to see if there is a fundamental news or anything that can affect the accuracy of the trade. Right, but on that particular day, I didn't see it. I think the that one came out after we had entered the trade or something like that. And there's no way the market would have actually respected it, you know, because that was like a very negative news or thereabout. So it's more like, let's say your economy did not do well. Hmm? Your economy did not do well this past month. So the news came out, said your economy did not do well. Please, as a normal person, what are you meant to do? Oh, my economy did not do well. Oh, people lost jobs in United States. Let's go and fix the problem. Let's create more jobs. Let's attract more foreign investors. Let's relax our policies. Let's reduce tariffs on goods so that we can have more goods coming in. That all those things, all those policies. Let's see what we can do. Let's probably reduce unemployment benefits. So people are going to be forced to go and get jobs because unemployment benefit is high. People just want to just stay at home and just take hard drugs and not work. You know, stuff like that, right? But instead of the guy that was appointed by Donald Trump. I can't remember his position, sure, but I know he's someone significant for him to be able to move the market like that. Instead of him to go and see something like that, we are going to look into what happened and would create and fix, stuff like that, like something very positive for the US dollar, or maybe the way Trump used to say, he will say, just something that is like going to boost United States ego and all. He went to go and say they should cut NFP. So basically, because NFP came out this period, and then it says that you guys had a bad economy last month when it comes to employment rates, they don't stop it. Instead, it's going to fix underlining problem on, yeah, you understand. So that's why the market spiked like that. NFP was bad, CPI was bad. Instead, we can say, oh, consumer price index, this now has increased. Okay, should we drop interest rates, or what should we do to increase the purchasing power in the hands of our consumers and stuff like that? And that thing he said was what took the market away from us. Okay. All right. So the session is actually recorded here. So what I'm going to do is that at the end of this session, I'm going to drop the recording on the group chat. Okay, so when I teach the strategy tomorrow, over the weekend, you can go over the strategy training, and then you can go over the what do you call it? This training. This training, what I want to do, I want to actually do a back testing. I want to do is make it so what? Yeah, like yeah. So it's like more like okay, let's curb it, But that's very stupid actually, because why do you want to curb unemployment claims? Your tenure is not doing well. Everybody should be able to see that you guys are shitting. Why do you want to curb it so you people keep ruining the economy or what? Like you guys can't take a loss or something like that. It's more like let's say we are playing FIFA now and I'm always beating you, beating you, beating you, beating you, beating you, beating you. And today you now come, I don't know, maybe you can't train very well and you're very good now. We now play, you now beat me crazy. Beating like 10 times in a row, like score it plus goals for me. And instead of me to actually admit that oh you're better at the moment, I work on myself. I'm not gonna say what do you call it? It's because I've not eaten since morning or something like that. Or I'm gonna say like maybe it's because what they call it, FIFA algorithm. You understand something like that. So that's just like what this guy is sole loser, that type of thing. That was actually how it was. All right, so let's so let's look at this thing. The strategy is very, very simple. First reaction, second reaction, third reaction. What? So let's look at setups that form this particular week. All right. Monday. Okay, I don't usually trade on Monday. I start from Tuesday. Or should we just save the back testing for next week? I think we should just save the back testing for next week. I think we just save the back testing for next week. We should save the back testing for next week. How many persons here? We save the back testing for next week when everybody have actually gone through the strategy, use the weekend to practice on the strategy and actually have a strong idea of how the strategy works. Because that's going to be better because everybody will actually follow through what we are doing. Right? Okay. So what I'm using right now here to trade is called TradingView. All right, TradingView is the backbone of every single thing we do when it comes to trading. I use TradingView to analyze my charts because TradingView is very, very sweet. It's very, very fluid, very, very responsive. Charts are updated in real time. I can set alert. I can draw any type of analysis. I can draw any type of this thing, draw any type of thing. All right. TradingView. So as a trader, when you go to the courses, you're going to see that on the professional course, there's a 1 hour training on TV. That's TradingView. Make sure you go to that course. Make sure you take your time to go to the course. Because once you take your time and go to the course, Because once you take your time and go through the course, you're going to understand and you understand how to use trading view. You can easily look at your charts and be able to what they call it, understand and follow through what we're actually doing. Okay. So I'm going to advise after this session, take your time. Once you're done with the beginner course, amateur course is just setting up your account. Professional course is the next one. Professional course, that's where you're going to see. Okay, let me see if I can show you the video. Oh, don't worry. Okay, let me see if I can show. I should be able to get it here. So once you go through that one and you understand how to use trading view, you'll be able to actually follow through with what every single thing I am doing. So as you're on the live session and I'm teaching, what you basically do is that you open your laptop or your phone and be watching what I am doing. If I'm marking up my chart this way, let your own screen be the way my screen is. Or as I mark up this one, put your own line there to try to trace what I'm doing. That's going to help you actually learn faster. It's going to make you actually have a better idea of how the backtesting works. Let me see if I can get the professional course. What am I? Okay. Okay, it's here. It's on my WhatsApp here. Hmm. Ah, okay, give me a second. Okay, let's see. Okay. So as a newbie, when you go to beginner course, you're going to teach you about the basics of forex. Amateur course is going to show you how compounding works and how to create your account. All right, so you can skip the process of creating an account because you already have an account already. Then you go to the professional course. Professional course is where you're going to learn how to use TradingView, which is the backbone of analysis because every single analysis we do, every single markup, the trends I'm teaching, the support and resistance I'm teaching, every single thing is actually on the professional course. It's actually on TradingView. So if you don't know how to use TradingView, you're basically going to struggle. You're going to actually struggle because as I'm teaching it, like that example I gave yesterday now, if you don't know how to use TradingView, you will not know how to what do you call it? Do the assignment I gave. You get. But if you know how to use TradingView, you can easily do the assignment. And when I give any other assignment in future, or when I teach the strategy tomorrow, when you're watching the recording, you can actually trace that, put your line here, put your line there, and adjust a few things and understand to a very large extent how the strategy works. What's on my well, this thing is not open. Let me check my YouTube. So in this session, I'm going to do an introduction to support and resistance. Yeah, yes, there are thoughts, trends. Today's going to be introduction to support and resistance. Okay. Then tomorrow, I teach the strategy. Okay. All right. So the reason why I'm showing you this introduction training view is because I want a situation whereby when I teach the strategy tomorrow, all right, everybody will be able to, on their own, open their trading view and, go to the recording and, practice very, very well over the weekend. So when they are coming on or when they are joining on Monday, on Tuesday rather, they would actually be um they will actually be able to follow through what we are doing. Okay. Let me show you this thing. Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at it here. It's a 1 hour, 9 minutes. So this 1 hour, 9 minutes here, I broke down every single thing about trading view on this training. It's long, but this is the backbone of what we are doing here. How to create your trading view account, how to use your trading view account, how to draw your lines, Ngbongo Tigbo, all of those things. They're all here. I did this video 2 years ago. Did this training 2 years ago when I was still very, very little. Almost 3 years ago, actually, not even 2 years ago. So it's more than 2 years ago. This is like 3 years plus ago. You can see it. You take your time to watch. It's how to add indicators, how to subtract indicators, all of those things. For let me even isolate itself and drop it on the group chat. So it's on the professional course. You see, beginner course was sent to you when you join the academy. You start with this one. Amateur course, you watch this one too, then professional course. But if you've watched this and this, you can just jump to the trading view and watch it. But usually you have to go through this step so you can actually understand it fully well. So I need you to watch this, and watch this before tomorrow's session. Okay? They can skip the ones you already know, but watch this, and watch this for tomorrow, 11 a.m. session, so that you're going to be able to follow through with the strategy training I'm going to be doing. For those who have watched those ones and maybe for some reasons the trading view on was so long and they didn't just watch it complete, this is the video of trading, introduction trading view. Make sure you watch it, okay? So I said I'm going to be teaching support and resistance today. Now, the backbone of price action, because I'm a price action trader, I trade price action. All right. And all my strategies are based on price action. So there are three things that price action makes use of: trends, support, or resistance. When you see the support or resistance, it's either it's horizontal support or resistance or diagonal. Okay. Horizontal is this one you're seeing here like this. This ones are straight. Okay. Diagonal is when you have it inclined at a certain angle. So if you look at this thing here, the price is still supporting this line. It's still being supported by this line. True or true? It's still matching this line, matching this line. So this is what we call a diagonal support. Then if you put it on top like this, it's going to be a diagonal resistance. This one is not clear. Do you understand? So it's either a support or a resistance, diagonal or horizontal. So that's the basics at which most things are really created. So usually creating strategy just like picking one or tweaking two, adding it like this, making break and retest of support or resistance, trends, this one down, all of those things. So your ability to be able to look at these things and spot patterns and look at them through the lens of this, all right, and see some repetitions based off of this, and the price is what makes you create strategy. But before you get to this stage, you have to learn, practice, understand a lot of things and all of those things. But how is that about that? I taught trends yesterday. So I've not gone, if you're not on the session, I'll drop the recording to after this session. So alongside this particular recording, so you can watch it if you missed out. Okay, so let me teach support and resistance. I'm going to be very fast with the teaching of support and resistance. Okay, so I want us to do something very, very practical. All right, I want you to stand up. All right, where you are. All right, just stand up. Okay, what you're standing on All right. That floor we are standing on is what we call a support. The reason why it's called a support is it is supporting your weight and preventing you from falling down. Okay? So if there was no floor there, you would have fallen down. True or true? Good. So the reason why you're able to stand up is because there is a floor there. And that floor is your support. So support is basically, it's just equal to floor. The floor price is standing on. Look at how this price now, and they are all in a house. And they are all standing on top of a floor. So because they are standing on top of this floor, they are not falling down. And this is the floor. I built this floor myself. You can see it here. Prevents price from falling down. That is what support is. Now, this is an horizontal support. We have what we call a diagonal support. Difference between horizontal and diagonal is just that diagonal is inclined at an angle. So the same thing I did there, look at it here. But this time around, now the difference between this particular floor and that first floor I drew now is that this one is inclined at an angle. But you can see still doing the same thing. It's preventing price from falling down. So anytime you hear support or anytime you want to think of support, it's going to take you a little bit of time to grasp your head around the concepts. But I like being very practical because when you're very, very practical, people are going to actually understand faster. So you don't have to complicate anything. Just stand up. That thing you're standing on, what is it? Support. Supporting your two legs, Abby. Good. This is his two legs of price. This is two legs. This is price first leg. This is price second leg. This is one person standing. This is me standing on top of the floor. This is Brendan standing on top of the floor. This is Brendan. This is Eunice. This is Joanne. This is Yossi. So we are all standing on top of this floor and it's preventing us from falling down. Simple. So whenever price comes to this floor, to match the floor and to jump up, because price is always moving. It's constantly moving. It doesn't stay in one place. So if it comes to a floor, it's always match the floor and go up. Match the floor and go up. It doesn't just stand there and just stand there like, because it's constantly in motion. Like you carry a ball that is always bouncing. If you throw the ball on top of a floor, it will bounce up. If you come back to that floor, it will bounce up again. Come back to that floor, it will bounce up. That's what happens. And it keep bouncing on top of the floor till it eventually breaks the floor. So how long it takes the price to break this floor is determined by the strength. Strength, yeah, I can't spell strength again. Strength of the floor. So if it's a very weak floor, let's say it's a glass, a very, very weak glass. If price just jump on top of that glass 2 times, bam. First time to crack, second time to break and to fall down. That's what we call a weak support. Weak. I call this one glass. Then, if the price jumps on a wood, first time the wood does not shake, second time it does not shake, but as price keep jumping, eventually the wood will crack and break. I call that medium support, which is wood. Then the last one is strong support. Price will keep jumping to go up, fly down from a very high place, beam, to still bounce up again, go up again, fly down again, beam. It keep jumping and jumping and jumping. If you look at this one, price jumped here first, it did not break. It jumped, jump, 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 it did not break. It flew up, jumped, it did not break. It flew up, jumped, it did not break. Flew up, jumped, before it now eventually broke rather. Yeah, strong support. And that one is concrete. So understanding the difference between all this type of supports can actually shape the way you trade. Right? Some persons actually trade from just observing the supports, the reactions of the support, and creating a strategy around that particular reaction of the support. All right. An example of that strategy is your box wave strategy we used to win our trades anyhow. It's based off support. First reaction, second reaction, third. Simple. Do you understand? So that is basically it. Then what is resistance? Let me bring this one down here. Just invert it. The idea you have of support, invert it. Turn it upside down. If you look up, just look up right now. There is a ceiling there. If you're staying downstairs, there's a ceiling. That ceiling, if you're living downstairs, is strong, it's concrete. All right. If you're staying upstairs, it's probably made of asbestos or POP or whatever. If you jump up, let's say you have ability to jump very, very well. If you jump up, right, let's say you're staying upstairs and you hit your head on top of that POP, it's going to push you back down. It's to prevent you from going above the house. That's what we don't call it village people, though. We call it resistance because it prevents you from passing a particular height. It resists your upward trajectory. In Nigeria, we say village people, all right? But in Forex, we call it resistance. So anytime you think of resistance, just think of village people. Okay? So you imagine this price. This price wanted to actually blow. The price wanted to actually buy Lambo, buy everything. But when it jumped, village people push it back down. He said, no, 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 I must blow. Jump again, village people push it down. Jump again, they kept pushing it down till it eventually gave up and fell. All right. So anytime you think of resistance, just look up. Say if I jump up now like this and hit my head on this thing, it's to push me back down. Do you understand? It's going to resist my upward movement. But if I keep jumping and hitting my head, if I'm staying upstairs, the POP will crack and it will break and I'll fly through. Do you understand? But if I'm staying downstairs, if I keep jumping and jumping and hitting my head, I'm going to need to jump and hit my head for a longer period of time before that concrete eventually breaks. Okay? And the same philosophy of resistance, ceiling, will appear also happens to resistance. Prevents price from going up. Okay, so this same strength of floor still applied to strength of ceiling to exactly the same thing. All right, so that is basically it for the session. We're going to have to stop here so I don't actually overload you. Take your time to actually like go through the trading view course and watch this course again so you can actually spot resistance and support on your own. If you know you got value from this session, help me drop some values on the group chat. If you know you got value, drop value on the group chat. And if you not get value, don't drop anything. All right, but that's basically it for the session. See you guys tomorrow on the 11 a.m. session. I'm going to continue from where I stopped here on the 6 a.m. session. So make sure you join. And if you know you got value, drop value on the group chat. See you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye.